Julia and Sophia's glamorous New York adventure. Once upon a time, in the breezy, sun-kissed neighborhood of Coconut Grove, two sisters, Julia and Sophia, her curious and bubbly little sister, were lounging on their colorful beanbags, flipping through a book of faraway places. That's when a soft whoosh blew through the window. A golden envelope floated into their room, landing gently on their lap. Julia opened it with wide eyes. "It's an enchanted invitation," she whispered. Sophia leaned over and read aloud. "Dear Julia and Sophia, your next magical adventure awaits in New York City. Discover its wonders, complete your quest, and prepare for the grandest night of your lives." Before they could blink twice, their sparkly sneakers lit up, and whoosh, they were flying above the clouds, zooming toward the skyline of Manhattan. Their feet touched down on a peaceful path inside Central Park. Birds chirped, dogs barked happily, and horse-drawn carriages lined the roads. "Let's go boating," Sophia shouted. They hopped into a rowboat, paddling across the lake as turtles peeked from the water. Afterward, they twirled on the merry-go-round at a Central Park carousel and munched on pretzels near the Alice in Wonderland statue. Next stop, Times Square. The moment Julia and Sophia turned the corner onto 7th Avenue, their eyes widened like saucers. It was like stepping into a world made of electricity and dreams. Towering screens wrapped around skyscrapers, flashing with everything from sparkling shoes to Broadway stars singing under falling confetti. Music blasted from street performers, and the entire square buzzed with excitement like a living, breathing carnival. Sophia froze. That's just New York magic. They dodged through crowds of tourists taking selfies, dancers spinning in light-up sneakers, and someone in a fuzzy Elmo costume offering hugs. Then, on the corner near 45th Street, they spotted him. A street performer painted entirely in silver, standing frozen like a statue. Suddenly he moved with a clank, arms creaking like metal, head turning in slow, robotic motion. Sophia's jaw dropped. "He's a real robot," Julia grinned. "Watch this." Before she could say more, Sophia jumped in front of the man and started doing her best robot dance. Arms stiff, knees locked, chin bobbing. She beeped and booped, twirling in slow motion like a wind-up doll. The crowd burst into laughter. Even the silver robot cracked a smile and gave her a shiny thumbs up. Julia was laughing so hard she nearly dropped her warm pretzel, powdered sugar puffing into the air like fairy dust. Afterward, they made their way to the iconic red steps above the TKTS booth. The lights of Times Square reflected in their eyes like little galaxies. They climbed to the very top, squeezed together between visitors from all over the world, and posed with arms outstretched. On the giant screen above them, a camera feed showed live images from the square, and there they were. Sophia squealed. "Julia, look, we're famous!" They jumped up and down, waving wildly at themselves on the big screen, as if they had just won an award. Next, they zipped downtown to the Empire State Building. In a golden elevator, they whooshed to the 86th floor, where the whole city sparkled beneath them. "Look, there's the Statue of Liberty." Julia pointed through the telescope. Sophia giggled. "She looks like she's waving at us." After, they strolled along the High Line, a magical park in the sky. Flowers bloomed, artists painted murals, and musicians played violins in the breeze. They paused for gelato from a food cart and danced on the wooden platforms above the streets. They followed enchanted glowing footsteps straight to a grand central terminal. Inside, the ceiling looked like the night sky, with constellations twinkling above. "Did the stars follow us here?" Sophia whispered. They watched trains glide in and out, imagining each one was heading to a fairy tale. At MoMA, they marveled at swirly Van Gogh paintings and colorful dots by Yayoi Kusama. Sophia stared at a Picasso portrait sideways. "I think her eyes are doing somersaults." They sketched their own masterpiece in the kids' art studio before heading out. They peeked inside the fancy Plaza Hotel tent, where Sophia imagined she was Eloise, riding up and down the golden elevators. Across the street, they ran into F.A. Schwartz, the most magical toy store. They played on the giant piano, hugged a life-size teddy bear, and even picked 2 tiny tiaras just in case. Before sundown, they reached Rockefeller Center and rode the elevator to the top of the rock. The city shimmered pink and gold. "This is like the sky's Met Gala," Julia whispered. Sophia raised her arms. "We're the queens of the rooftops." As dusk settled, the wind whispered again. "Your final challenge awaits. You must find the perfect gowns and attend the Met Gala." A followed a trail of sparkling dust to the nearby Embark hotel town where all the celebrities were getting ready. A bellhop winked and said, "You'll find what you need on the 12th floor." Inside a secret dressing room, dresses shimmered like stars and shoes twinkled when touched. Julia chose a floating silver gown with glowing pearls, and Sophia picked a golden dress with tiny butterflies that gently flapped their wings. With jeweled headbands and enchanted perfume, they were ready. With hearts thumping, they skipped to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Cameras flashed. Models and movie stars glided up the red carpet. They snuck through a side door, Sophia pausing to do a little twirl just for the paparazzi, and suddenly they were inside the Met Gala. The museum glowed in candlelight, gowns sparkled, art came alive. They watched the fashion show, sitting near the runway as dreamy dresses floated by. "I bet that rainbow one is for Zendaya," Sophia whispered. "No, Zendaya will pick the one that lights up." Julia grinned. Then a graceful woman in black sunglasses and a classic bob sat beside them. "Hello, girls," said Anna Wintour. "I've been expecting you." Julia and Sophia nearly dropped their forks of glittery cake. Anna smiled. "Come, sit with me." She led them to the main table, where the social and fundraising magic happened. The girls helped pick causes to support, shared apple juice toasts, and gave fashion tips to a few stylists who took notes very seriously. As the stars danced and laughter filled the night, a breeze whispered again. It was time to go. Back in their cozy beds in Coconut Grove, their tiaras sparkled on the nightstand, and their sketchbooks were full of gowns and stars. Sophia yawned. "Do you think Anna Wintour dreams of us now?" Julia smiled. "I think the whole city might." And with that, they drifted off, dreaming of dresses, rooftop skies, and the next big adventure.